My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramer. I'll be one to make friends. I'm just trying to make you a little money. My job is not just to entertain you, but to educate and teach you on days like today. So call me at 1-800-743-CBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. I'll ask you a question. Since when did optimism become such a darn scarce commodity on Wall Street? After a day where the Dow surged 535 points, S&P up 1.71%, NASDAQ pulverizing 1.73%, I think it's time to rethink the pervasive sense of pessimism and gloom that has set in over the last 6 weeks. Pessimism that is occasionally busted by one of these one-day skyrockets. Now, some would say today's move is merely a relief rally after so much negativity. Others might call it a joke of a move that will suck people in and cause them to lose fortunes. You could argue it's an earnings rally after superb numbers from Bank of America, United Health, and Morgan Stanley, which is closer to the truth. But I think it's bigger than that. This rally is about the common sense realization that our current problems can be fixed as companies turn challenges into opportunities. No, it's not a cliche. Focus! You would know that for most of the media coverage, because journalists love to ask people about what's going wrong, what keeps them up at night. You know what keeps me up at night? I'll tell you what keeps me up at night. This thing, this ragu. He keeps getting into bed. That's what keeps me up at night. Anyway, you try to talk about what's going right, you're branded an idiot. The easiest way to sound smart on television is by being really negative. Then you get a lot of extra credibility, and, especially if you're rich. These people, these negative nabobs, they always sound so insightful when they rant about how we're headed for disaster. Sometimes I listen, I wax poetic, I say, oh my God, oh geez, I mean, wow, that's going to happen. But historically, the Bulls have done much better long-term than the Bears. So maybe the Bears billionaires aren't actually the smartest guys in the room. Maybe they just made it over a couple of quarters. You know, they got it right. Now all we ever hear about is how brilliant they are. Don't take it from me, though. I was searching and searching for an analog, and I found it. I want you to take it from arguably the most visibly smart person in America today. He's a man by the name of Matt Amodio. He's the guy who just won 38 straight games of Jeopardy, bagging $1.5 million in one of the longest winning streaks ever. David Faber, my partner on Squawk on the Street, got to meet this young man during the week that he guest hosted, and he crushed it, Jeopardy. And he came on our morning show today. Naturally, we asked him what he's going to do with the $1.5 million. Listen to Matt's answer.
I'm going to do long-term invest and hold. So I'm not there on the day-to-day trading. It's too much for me to keep track of. But, you know, index funds paired with a small amount of bonds with yearly rebalancing. Like, how can you go wrong, right?
How can you not love that guy? I think the pessimist would dismiss the man you just heard as someone who just fell off of a turnip truck, even though he's a full-time graduate student from New Haven, if you catch my drift, who cleaned up on Jeopardy. I think he's smart as a whip, especially when he went on to say that he'd deploy the bond portion of his money, because it's short-term, to buy stocks if there was a market plunge. He has faith in the market as a wealth creator. He is whom I want you to be. Now, is Matt Amodio really the smartest man in America right now? All right. Hey, you try winning Jeopardy 38 times in a row. All kidding aside, he's certainly not dumb money. And I got to tell you, my family's a Jeopardy family, so this guy is a family hero. Now, let me tell you why Matt will be right and the doom and gloom sayers will be wrong. The Bears are just so cynical, so jaded, that they've forgotten the lessons of history. Time and again, we've had looming catastrophes that just sort of faded away as people took action to stop them, like Cyprus. I don't know if you remember, there was a period where Cyprus was supposed to end the universe. You know, Fukushima, end the universe. 3 Mile Island, end the universe. Didn't happen. And yet, that's where we find ourselves now. I think the problems plaguing this economy are preludes to nothing. They aren't arbingers of disaster. They may not even rise to a financial disaster for $200 Jeopardy question. As long as the Bears don't scare you away from the market, as long as you can withstand the withering interstitial machine gun fire that they throw at you every single day, then you can make it to the promised land of milk and honey. Yes, terrific days like today. I say that as someone who was very bearish for most of September and the first week of October, but now that the seasonally weak period is drawing to a close, I have no choice but to get more constructive, so I don't come in here one day and say, I'm bullish. No, as I said, you get to the end of the month, you got to be more bullish. First, let's take the port congestion issue, which has got everybody so scared all of a sudden, right? It's been going on for months, but now we're suddenly discovering about it. We've got lots of ships with lots of cargo, too much cargo. So they're just sitting there waiting to be unloaded. We need more longshoremen to do the unloading. Intractable? No. Beatable. Somehow this story, which has been simmering for months, I mean, literally months, with everyone involved blaming everyone else, finally got the attention of the President of the United States. Whether you love Biden or hate him, he brought everyone who stands to gain from fixing this problem together. And while I'm sure the first Band-Aids won't work, eventually they'll get the job done. Some people will be making a lot more money, including Uber truck drivers, as you will hear tonight. And some businesses will have to slightly lower their margins. And for a while, the pork crisis will be over. It'll be over. What about all this nonsense about how your packages won't get there in time for Christmas? I mean, can we just talk about a first world problem, please? Sure, some companies might not have enough merchandise, but their competitors will. That's just the brutal Darwinian logic of capitalism/retail. The bold fact is the Grinch ain't getting this one. And look, if you're really worried about the holidays, you still got more than 2 months to go. I mean, go to the internet, okay? Concocted story. Second, semiconductor shortage. Yes, practically everything that needs chips is being cut back. Apple even, the auto companies, the appliance makers. It's hitting everybody. We just heard from Taiwan Semi, the biggest chip manufacturer in the world, reported a terrific quarter just last night because demand is off the charts. However, if you listen to the conference call, you know that Taiwan Semi doesn't make many automotive chips as a percentage of its whole book of business. They ain't no savior. What's going to happen now? In a rational world, and you know that I think this world is at least semi-rational, companies won't simply sit there and do nothing. If I were running an automaker, say Ford, I'd call the major semiconductor companies and say, who wants to cooperate with me on a new foundry by putting up all the money that we need to get equipment from Lam Research, KLA, Applied Materials, the testing companies, clean rooms, those really cool, shower caps you got to put on. We keep hearing, well, some do. We keep hearing that all these auto chips make so little money for the semiconductor manufacturers that they just aren't worth it, as though the price is somehow set in stone. You know how wrong this is? Maybe these chips only cost $2 or $3 a piece in the past, but now they're worth thousands of dollars in lost sales to Ford and GM. So why wouldn't they just find a partner and make their own, even if it costs $200 per chip? I can solve this for them myself. I know how to do it. I went to the Israeli Intel fab on a Saturday. I was the only one there. Anyway, I can go on and on about these terrible tales of financial terror. That won't even rise to a single daily Jeopardy. I don't like those ones, too, where someone's singing and stuff. Let's stick to the real stuff. But let me leave you with one more. Wall Street's tearing its hair out, good luck, about all the lost workers and beleaguered consumers who are supposedly being eaten alive by inflation, right? I mean, woohoo! But if you listen to the Bank of America or Morgan Stanley conference calls, you know that the consumer is maybe the most flush in my lifetime. I've been around for a while. In fact, among the less wealthy, on average, people are 5 times more flush than they were before the pandemic began. You heard me, 5x. The real trouble comes when people are in debt, not when they're in cash, for heaven's sake. Right now, though, consumer balance sheets are so strong that it's obvious we have a labor shortage. We need more births in this country. We need more immigration. You'll hear about that from Domino's. Many of the missing workers are people who stepped away from the workforce because they can afford to take some time off. Maybe there are a lot of people after 700 deaths and so many 20 million people that may have long COVID, whatever. Maybe there are a lot of people who want to rethink their lives. Actually take the time to ponder because they have the money and they can. Here's a question for you. Why should pondering only be the province of the rich? Is that really an intractable problem to ponder and think and wonder what you should be doing in your life? Is it even a problem at all? The bottom line, I urge you to imagine that the seemingly intractable as tractable. Believe that guys like Matt Amodia, so cool under fire, are smarter than the permanent bears who somehow never get hassled about being wrong, but are catered to and treated like royalty, and I hate it. Let's all be a little less cynical so we can try to make a little more money for all the people who don't have enough.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.